Let's take a moment to discuss how to get started with a new project in ZBrush. This is important because ZBrush can be a little different than other 3D softwares when it comes to starting up a project. I'm going to close the blind box by pressing comma, and if I draw anything in the canvas, you can see that we are still in 2.5D mode, which I discussed in a different video. Control N to clear. Let's grab a simple primitive tool, Cube 3D. Nothing happens, even though I've selected the tool. You might be expecting the cube to automatically pop up in the middle of the world, but that will not be the case here in ZBrush. What you need to do is you need to click and drag on the cube for it to be drawn onto the scene. Don't worry, it will always be drawn in the center of the scene. However, if you click and drag multiple times, you'll create multiple instances of the tool in 2.5D. Let's clear the canvas and drag it in one time. In order to do anything to this cube, we must go to Edit Mode right up here. The shortcut is T. Only in Edit Mode will you be able to rotate around the cube or affect its shape in any way. However, if I try to use the Move brush on my cube, you'll see this error. To enable sculpting, please convert this 3D primitive to a Polymesh 3D by pressing the Make Polymesh 3D button on the tool palette. You might be asking yourself, what's the difference? Well, this is a primitive and it hasn't been fully initialized into a sculptable mesh yet. Here's what makes it so cool though. While still in the primitive stage, you can come here to the tool palette and you can hit the Initialize button. In the Initialize button, let's turn on Polyframe temporarily. You can change the sizes of your cube or whatever primitive you might be doing, how many sides there are in the first place, the divisions, and even the twist. This will make a brand new primitive for you that is perfectly customized to your needs. Let's look at the initialized properties of the 3D ring. You have S radius, which is the radius of the inner hole. We have coverage, scale 1, the twist. Ooh, that's a lot of twist right there. Again, we can do divisions, and the IT twist. You still can't sculpt on this. Thankfully, they give us the exact instructions of what we need to do in order to make it sculptable. Here in the tool palette, I'm going to make Polymesh 3D. Now, with my move brush, I can come in here and move it around. Once your primitive mesh has become a Polymesh 3D, you might notice it looks red. That's because normally the default material is this matchcap red wax right here. If you want to change the color or the material, simply click on that material and select a new one. I really like using basic material right here. This Make Polymesh 3D option is only really important if the thing you're working on currently is a primitive. I'm going to load up one of my previous tools to show the difference. All right, my tool has been loaded up. I'm going to click and drag, hit Edit, and now I can edit it without having to hit the Make Polymesh 3D button, because it's already a Polymesh 3D. If you load up a new project, however, let's go to Lightbox and choose a random project like this dog right here. Double click it, no thanks. You'll notice that you can already start editing the dog without any extra steps. That's because the project, when it was saved, was already in edit mode and it already had everything set up for you. I hope this video was helpful. This is all you need to know in order to get your meshes ready for sculpting.